This match has been sold out for days in Minneapolis. We are inside the PAB, a top 5 showdown, Nebraska and Minnesota. And let's get you the starting lineups powered by American Ethanol. We told you, balance is the key for Minnesota. Stephanie Samity, Samantha Seliger-Swenson, and Alexis Hart are all All-Americans for the Golden Gophers. And then for Nebraska, Kenzie Maloney and Michaela Fecke, they're the senior leaders for this Huskers team, coming off a couple losses in 5 sets. They've got the freshman setter as well in Nicklin Hames.
And I'm curious to see how Nebraska responds, but let's keep this in perspective.
John Cook is in his 19th season at the helm of the Cornhuskers. They took a late flight over here from Madison to Minneapolis. They got into town. They had a practice this morning, so too in the afternoon did Hugh McCutcheon's team, his 7th season at the helm. They are a perfect 9-0 in the Big Ten. It's their best ever start in program history in conference play. Told you it's a rematch. These two teams met exactly 2 weeks ago out in Lincoln, and for Minnesota, it was a 4-set win over the Cornhuskers. So right away, a bit of a different look for Nebraska. They've got the freshman DS Megan Miller in to serve out of Alexandria, Indiana, and it forces Minnesota out of system right away. Nicklin Hames sets the middle, and an attack error from Lauren Stivrins, the redshirt sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona.
We saw a little bit of this last night of Nebraska wanting to establish their middle hitters, which I think is a good plan for them offensively to keep the defense or the block having to work a little bit harder for Minnesota.
Samantha Seliger-Swenson is behind the line to serve. Senior setter from Minnetonka, Minnesota, 3-time All-American. Bump set from Nicklin Hames to Lexi Sun, the transfer from Texas. Alexis Hart. Kenzie Maloney is the libero for Nebraska. Free ball from Adana Rollins, one of the freshman starters for the Gophers. Couple swings early on for Jazz Sweet, and that's a good sign for Nebraska. She's really struggled her last 2 matches.
It's nice to see her get that tough swing down the line. That's just a little bit too much for CC McGraw to handle, but they need to have, Nebraska needs to have all 3 pins hitting well to be successful.
Sweet, the sophomore out of Tecumseh, Kansas. Last 2 matches, 16 kills, 21 attack errors. Good serve from Haley Densberger, the sophomore from Malcolm, Nebraska, and it's an ace for the Cornhuskers, who really struggled serving in set 1 last night against Wisconsin.
Which I think they would like to forget pretty quickly, but that's a nice start for behind the service line for the Cornhuskers.
Off the block is a kill for Stephanie Samity, who you said it earlier, last year, of course, a first-team All-American as a true freshman.
Well, I like what she's able to do all along the net. They bring her a little bit inside, away from the pin, as well as expand that range to outside the pin, and she can just maneuver that ball into the opponent's court.
Here's Lauren Barnes to serve, sophomore from Naperville, Illinois, off the tape. Densberger kept it up. Seliger-Swenson sent Samity. Minnesota only needed 3 sets last night here at home at the PAB against Iowa. They've only dropped 1 set of their 9 Big Ten matches. That was against Nebraska a couple weeks ago. Tip from Adana Rollins to put the Gophers up by 2 early on.
Such a nice little shot by her over the Nebraska block, just out of range of the right back for Nebraska.
How impressive has Rollins been so far in her collegiate career? Under Armour All-American, she was an early enrollee. She's out of Carrollton, Texas. Lexi Sun off the block for the kill. Nebraska within 1 early on.
Nice use of the hands there by Lexi Sun. She had 2 blockers in front of her, made the most of it by hitting high off those hands, flipping it past the Minnesota defense.
We saw the double-double for Sun last night against Wisconsin. She also had 10 attack errors. It's tough sledding for both Wisconsin and Nebraska offensively last night in that 5-set affair. Adana Rollins, another kill.
Good use of vision right there with Adana Rollins. She has a little bit of a shorter blocker with Hames on the right side. Enough of a gap between the middle blocker, Stivrins, and Hames to get an open court.
Freshman libero CC McGraw serves. Hames to Stivrins on the slide.
I like how Stivrins responded. She wasn't really pleased with the block touch before that Adana Rollins got against her. Comes back with a nice kill and uses Adana Rollins' hands.
6th in the Big Ten in hitting percentage. Samity's one of the best right side in the country. Becky, the attack there. Minnesota's climbed up all the way to number 3 in the country. We told you they're perfect in the Big Ten. And the overall record, 15-2. Only losses to Oregon and Stanford. There's Callie Schwarzenbach, one of the middles for Nebraska. She's a true freshman standing at 6'5".
Well, there she is one-on-one, and she made the most of that by slicing it cross court in between the back court of the middle back and the right back of Minnesota. Nebraska's going to need to get their middles involved. I believe a little bit more than what we saw last night or previously in the season.
Nicklin Hames, the freshman setter. McGraw got to it. Tossed the free ball over. Maloney's bump set for Becky. Now Rollins. Maloney again for Jazz Sweet, and it's blocked. Reagan Pittman in the middle.
Really nice block by Reagan Pittman. She got those hands over, solidly formed. Jazz Sweet just had one direction. She could really go hard with that ball, and unfortunately, Reagan Pittman was there to stop the angle.
Redshirt sophomore from Spring Hill, Kansas. Second on the team in blocks behind Taylor Morgan. Service error from Adana Rollins. First matchup between these two teams, Hugh McCutcheon thought that they probably won both the serving battle and serve receive as well.
Well, and that's a nice place to control the game, because when you're winning the serving battle, you're putting your opponent in a position that's going to limit their offense. And you're winning the serve-receive battle, you're able to put your own offense in the best position to score.
Becky had 3 service errors last night against Wisconsin, and she's got another one here. Here's Pittman. Minnesota up by 2 early on in set 1, and Nebraska sets the middle to Schwarzenbach. We started last night over in Madison talking a lot about that. How often would Nebraska go to the middle?
Well, they started out early in the middle, just like what we're seeing tonight, but we're not able to stick with that game plan last night. And hopefully tonight, they're going to be able to. Hames made a nice one-hand set to save that ball from going into the net, and Callie Schwarzenbach was right there to slam it down.
2 kills already for the true freshman. She had 3 total last night. Seliger Swenson, crafty tip to Morgan. Big swing from Lauren Stivrins for the kill.
What a great shot by Stivrins here. Gave herself a little bit of space away from the setter in front of her, enough to create some room in between the 2 blockers in Minnesota.
Tough serve and a service ace for Nebraska.
Nebraska's able to keep this serving pressure going. They're going to be back into a nice groove and a rhythm that they like to have from the service line.
As a team, they lead the conference. You see an aces per set. That one courtesy of the freshman Megan Miller, tasked with serving early on. Point Nebraska. 5-1 run here for the Huskers. Alexis Hart, 13 All-American last year. Seliger Swenson goes right back to her, and she's off the mark. Just missed it wide. Miller still serving. Goes right at Hart again. A joust kept alive by Sweet. Sun, roll shot long.
And I would not want to go up against Samantha Seliger-Swinton on a joust. She is an experienced setter and knows how to use that timing to get the last push against a well-formed block.
A well-decorated career for the senior from Minnetonka, Minnesota, a product of Hopkins. Stivrins, handled by Samity. Now Taylor Morgan, good coverage by CeCe McGraw. Stivrins is holding her own in the middle. Seliger-Swinton got to it. Off the free ball. Sun. Alexis Hart rises. Back row attack, Fecky for the kill. Nicely done by Nebraska.
What a nice sequence in the offense for Nebraska. Hames is moving the ball around, not setting too many hitters or oversetting a hitter, and finding a hitter that's open and making the block have to scramble on the Gopher side.
Here's Haley Densberger, who had 3 service aces last night. Bump set from Seliger-Swinton. That's tight for Morgan. And a net call. Timeout, Hugh McCutcheon. Nebraska trying to bounce back after the loss last night in Madison, off to a good start in set 1 in Minneapolis. Nebraska, the number 5 team in the country, is on a 7-1 run since Minnesota led 8-6 early on in set 1. Taylor Morgan gets involved, the redshirt junior who has had such a breakout season in the middle.
Well, she's quick. Obviously, she jumps well, and she really loves to hit the ball. And one thing she told us after practice today is that she learned that hitting high and deep works. It just doesn't have to be straight down to score.
And it was what she learned in Lincoln in that 4-set win over these Cornhuskers. Ames' bump set for Lexi Sun and a kill. Nicely done by Lexi Sun, the sophomore from Encinitas, California, just outside of San Diego. Former #1 overall recruit in the country, missed the first 8 matches, of course, this year. And has been playing 6 rotations now that she's healthy. Service error. It's the second one for Nebraska. They do have a couple ace serves here in the first set. And again, 7 service errors, no aces in set number 1 last night. CeCe McGraw. Hames, the back set to Stivrins. Adana Rollins off the block. Point to the Gophers, just got away from Stivrins on the block.
Really good patience here by Minnesota. Took several swings. The block from Nebraska stopped it. The defense brought it back over. Final swing with Adana Rollins, found that block not so well formed by Nebraska and was able to utilize it.
Nebraska sent it over after a tough pass. Samity. Rollins again out of system. Nice dig by Kenzie Maloney. That was tight to handle for Samity on that right pin. What do you think looks different so far about Nebraska, if anything, here in set 1?
Well, they're off getting the middles involved, and the middles are scoring. It's not just giving them the ball, but the middles are able to terminate on it. But we're seeing just the offense clicking a little bit better, and it's flying around. It's diverse. It's spread. It's not so one-dimensional like we saw last night.
Great job by CeCe McGraw getting in there after the block. Hames to Fecky for a kill for Michaela Fecky. That's her second on her 6th swing. Well, we've talked about getting the middle more involved. We said it last night, we've said it today. 4 of the first 6 kills tonight for Nebraska came from middle blockers. Now the outside's getting involved as well. Rollins. Donna Rollins has been really impressive so far in her first season.
You know, I really like that she feels confident to go up and take a good swing, and it's a fearlessness about her without a recklessness in going after a swing.
Hugh McCutcheon was really impressed with her defense the very first weekend of the season. Rollins even said herself she wasn't expecting to have a huge role necessarily this year, maybe wasn't expecting to be such an impact player. She said, hey, I just wanted to do my part here on this very good team.
She's doing a little bit more than her part. She's starting to own that 6 rotation outside hitter position.
John Cook's got his All-American going, Michaela Fecke, with another good swing for Nebraska. Cornhuskers by 4 here in set 1. Rollins. That's her 5th kill, no errors on 9 swings.
She gets her feet nicely there and just fully extended, and looks like it goes above the block for Nebraska.
The reigning Texas Gatorade Player of the Year. Hames sets the middle for Schwarzenbach. That's her 3rd kill, and again, Stivrins has a pair as well.
Such a good first contact by Nebraska to get that offense going, to allow the middle to be a part of the offense, and Hames is able to find her. And then Schwarzenbach goes across her body to where the open spot is.
Now Fecke back to serve. Pittman is blocked. Schwarzenbach in the middle.
Nice move here, Schwarzenbach, to get her feet there, but also her hands over the net.
Timeout, Hugh McCutcheon. Nebraska is up by 5 on the road in this top 5 showdown. About Minnesota's efficiency offensively.
Well, such a strong matchup here about an offense and a defense, but each of these teams is good, not only offensively, but also good behind the service line. They're good at blocking, and it's really going to be a matter, I think, of what, Hugh McCutcheon said, who's going to win the serve pass game and the serve game.
The first meeting between these teams, Minnesota hit 280. That was a season high allowed by Nebraska. John Cook said, we've got to take that personally. And so far, they've held Minnesota to 103 with a hitting percentage, and they've served a lot better as well.
Well, it's nice to see Nebraska getting into a rhythm and having a run of points. What we didn't see last night is them being able to sustain a serving run to allow them to earn points. Instead, they'd have a big kill, go back to serve it out, and just couldn't get in a rhythm.
You'll often see Pittman go to the tip on the slide. A swing from Jazz Sweet is wide.
Point you! Checks back in for the Golden Gophers. Pittman back to serve. Also checking in for the Golden Gophers, number 1, Jasmine Martin, and number 3, Sarah Nielsen. Nielsen now serving.
Double sub here for Minnesota. Pittman exits after Sweet's error. Sarah Nielsen is in to serve, sophomore from Glen Ellen, Illinois, west of Chicago. And then Jasmine Martin comes in the front row as well. Lexi Sun. And the point to Minnesota.
Part of that double sub that I know that Hugh McCutcheon's looking to have is that he has a bigger block up there with Jasmine Martin than he does with Samantha Seliger-Swinson. And it's going to make Lexi Sun have to consider what options are taken away with the bigger block in front of her.
Schwarzenbach off target, and Minnesota has answered that run that you mentioned from Nebraska.
Well, this is where Nebraska wants to put an end to this streak of errors. They got to have a response so that it doesn't become a habit and how they respond to some pressure.
Well, John Cook tries to put an end to the Minnesota momentum. Timeout by the Cornhuskers, who lead by 3 in set 1. Many of these fans saw Minnesota take down Iowa here in 3 sets at home last night before this big, high-powered matchup tonight. Balance a big part of the story last night for Minnesota, as it often is against the Hawkeyes.
Well, I would imagine that Minnesota had their passing game going well, and Samantha Seliger-Swinson having all hitters being available to her to set. But it's so nice to have 3 of your most amazing hitters hit for just high numbers and low air.
So far tonight, Donna Rollins has 5 of Minnesota's 8 kills. Jazz Sweet on the tip, Martin digs it. Hames pushes it out to Lexi Sun. Bump set from Hames for Sweet. Nielsen. Kill for Lexi Hart. Minnesota within 2.
What a gutsy move by Jasmine Martin, keeping that tip alive to allow that rally to be extended, to work hard up at the net, get a point.
Nielsen still in there following that double sub that Hugh McCutcheon had used. Before this 4-0 run, Sun stops it.
Nice to have that response by Nebraska after hitting a few balls out or not getting points on a first thrust offense. It's good to see Sun come alive and get a point.
There's 3 kills on 9 swings, couple errors for Lexi Sun. Megan Miller, the freshman, has 1 ace serve already. Goes right at Rollins. Hart gets it back from Samity. Hames out to Sun. Seliger Swenson back in. Hart off the block. Nebraska will make teams work with its defense. Jazz Sweet cross court.
Really good management of the ball on both sides of the net. You see Stivrins get those hands over, direct the ball down, and then Nebraska finishes with that strong swing by Jazz Sweet cross court.
Huskers by 4. Seliger Swenson keeps going out to Alexis Hart. Hames to the middle for the kill from Stivrins.
What a nice response from Nebraska. You know, bouncing back from last night, just even in this first set. I know there's a lot of volleyball to be played, but it's good to see those middles get involved.
We watched them at practice this morning. You would not have known that there was a loss yesterday. Point goes to Samity and the Gophers. But to that point, to say nothing of the demeanor or the moxie, but it's a team that was really focused on flushing. And that's what coaches talk about in this conference. You've got to have a short memory, whether it's a big win or a tough loss.
Well, I think the losses stay a lot longer with the coaching staff than it ever does the players. But you also, this is a team that's on a mission. They know, hey, we got to learn from it, move on. Another big match ahead of us.
Jazz Sweet. Can Hart get there? She can at the table. Wow, Lexi Hart. Jazz Sweet off McGraw, poke to the corner. Sun ends it. Sets up set point. What a rally.
What a great hustle play right here. Lexi Hart just sacrificing her body over the scores table, playing it back in. And then just a solid finish to quiet the fans down with the Gophers by Lexi Sun.
What a way to end that rally against a Minnesota team that, again, has only lost 1 set. So far in Big Ten action, you can make it 2. Nebraska stamps set 1 in Minneapolis. First set that the Gophers have dropped at home here at the PAV this season.
Probably a pretty new feeling for Morgan Taylor right here, but they're going to bounce back. Second set, a lot of match left right here. We'll see what Nebraska's going to throw at them in the second set.
And if Huskers fans were wondering how would Nebraska bounce back tonight, pretty good answer so far after set 1 at the PAV against Minnesota. Pom-poms aplenty in Minneapolis. Inside Maturi Pavilion, Nebraska takes set 1 from Minnesota. They boast one of the nation's best defenses, perhaps the best, and they held Minnesota below 100 in terms of hitting percentage.
Well, just from watching, their practice earlier today, we saw their scattering report. Maybe we didn't know exactly what Nebraska was going to do against Minnesota, but what we are seeing on the defensive end is that their block is in the right spot at the right time. They have the play read before it actually is going to develop. So we're seeing a lot of good blocks, but on the other side of it, Minnesota had 1 service error, which isn't very much, but for Minnesota, it's a lot for a team that hardly ever makes a service error, and Minnesota has 3 reception errors. And Nebraska's earning a lot of their own points, and those 4 errors from Minnesota that were given to Nebraska, that gets you to 25.
And a good start for number 5 Nebraska against Samantha Seliger-Swenson's number 3 Gophers. The senior setter back to serve in rotation 1. Good pass from Fecky. Jazz sweep. That's pretty surgical from Nebraska to begin set 2.
That was a really nice swing by her. That set was fading off the net and into Jazz sweep. She managed that quite well. Nice range with that arm.
Couple early errors for Sweet. Since then, a couple kills on her last few swings. Bump set from Seliger-Swenson. Samity tried to go down the line just off her target. Kaylee Densberger had 1 ace serve of the 3 for Nebraska in set 1. Hames to Stivrins on the slide. Read well by Samity. Samity adjusts for the kill.
One of the things Minnesota does well is they upgrade the ball that comes to them. So that set wasn't quite in the spot that I think Samity thought it was going, but she was able to adjust and still get it past Nebraska.
She had 11 kills in the first meeting between these teams. She had 18 digs as well in that 4-set win for Minnesota. There's an ace serve, the first one for Minnesota tonight.
What a fun response here by Lauren Barnes as she comes in, raises her hand high, clenches her fist, makes sure that her team knows to celebrate.
Barnesy, as they call her, as Hugh McCutcheon said to us today. She's second on the team in aces. Served another tough one at Kenzie Maloney. There's a kill for Samity on the right side.
That's the kind of range we were talking about prior to the match beginning, that we all know that Samity can hit really high and hard, but she can also take a little bit off. The defense is back on their heels, and it's hard to move forward to take care of it.
Showing some emotion as well. Sophomore out of the Orlando, Florida area. Blocked by Minnesota. Morgan in the middle. You want to talk about emotion? Check out Taylor Morgan.
That is one big block up there. She's not only high, which you need to have for blocking, but she's pressed over, which you have to be a good blocker.
All smiles, as is often the case from the redshirt juniors that have battled so many injuries in her career. Morgan was trying to handle that one again at the net.
Back to serve is a 10 Lexi Sun.
Back and forth start to set 2. Now Lexi Sun behind the line to serve. And an ace serve. Sun will take it. That's her first tonight.
It's a really nice float serve off Lexi's hand and tough to manage by CeCe McGraw.
Right back to Rollins. And a kill for Minnesota. Maloney ran out of room.
Checks back in for the Golden Gophers. CeCe back to serve.
Now CeCe McGraw out of Prior Lake, Minnesota, said from day one she knew she wanted to be a Gopher. And the point goes to Minnesota on the net fall.
Next violation. Point you.
Golden Gophers by 2 early on. Hames to Fecky. Off some hands for the kill.
Point Nebraska. Back in the match, number 25, Carolyn scores with our back to serve.
Nice play by Fecky. I'm sure she realizes she has 2 big blockers in front of her and able to hit the outside edge of Samity's hands, take it to her advantage.
Fecky was really busy last night, as we said at the top of this broadcast. She matched a career high yesterday with 59 swings that she had to go for in that match against Wisconsin as Minnesota gets a cross-court kill.
But it felt like a quiet 59 swings. It didn't feel like a loud 59 swings. It was so tough for Nebraska to manage a kill last night.
Speaking of kills, Adana Rollins has 7 no errors on 11 swings. Reagan Pittman tips the slide for the point.
That's a tough tip to manage. The block is going to have to come down and take it. Fecky had the right idea, but wasn't able to get her chicken wing form to flip it back up.
Pittman very efficient out of the middle, top 10 in the Big Ten in hitting percentage. Fecky rolls it, Barnes digs. Gallagher Swenson went to the dump. She had a crafty no-look dump in last night's match against Iowa. Rollins. Ames sets Fecky. Gallagher Swenson to Rollins, off the block. Free ball from Rollins. Ames to Fecky. Nice job by Lauren Barnes in the back row. Fecky. Gallagher Swenson back to Rollins for the kill. A 5-1 run for Minnesota, and John Cook takes a timeout. That's the night so far for the true freshman, Adana Rollins. And during the break, you said to me, you're not surprised. You puffed your chest out a little bit. You knew she was going to be good.
Well, we saw her in the first weekend of play for Division I volleyball, manage the back row roller. She was just a DS, and I shouldn't say just a DS. She's a freshman that could pass tough serves and serve receivers relied upon on defense. And as the season has progressed, she's earned the right to be a 6 rotation outside hitter, and she's earning it again tonight.
Samantha Gallagher Swenson said to us that it's the consistency of Adana Rollins that really stands out. Service error from Minnesota snaps a 4-0 scoring run. It's a freshman for Nebraska. There's Nicklin Hames ready to serve. Gallagher Swenson, the back set to Reagan Pittman, a powerful swing.
It's a nice find by Samantha Gallagher Swenson, and that little short back set for Pittman to get it between those two blockers. A little bit too much for Nebraska's defense to handle.
She's been coming on in recent weeks. Adana Rollins, though, commits the service error. And we've seen a few of those from Minnesota, and you said it's rare to even see 1 or 2 at this stage of the match.
Well, a big part of the philosophy at Minnesota is to be consistent and play low air. Don't take risk. And I don't think that was a risky serve. I think it was just a poor contact and maybe a poor toss. But they've gone through streaks where they don't miss a serve at all, and that's a lot of pressure on an opponent.
Lexi Sun tried to rifle it cross court, missed her mark.
Point you. Morgan checks back in for the Golden Gopher. Pittman back to serve.
Reagan Pittman readies. Off the tape for the ace.
She's been working hard on that serve, and the harder you work, the luckier you get. Tough ball to pick up when it flips off the tape.
Second ace serve for Minnesota as a team tonight. Error this time.
Point Nebraska, back in the match, number 3, Megan Miller, number 26, Lauren Stivrins. Miller back to serve.
Couple subs on the Nebraska side. The freshman Megan Miller back in to serve. Lexi Hart. Miller digs it. On the overpass. Lexi Hart.
Swinson back to serve.
Second kill for Alexis Hart. She's been busy as well. 17 swings tonight. Seliger Swenson, the service ace. Leads the team in that category coming into tonight with 20.
That serve just took a nosedive after it went over the net. Tough for anybody to pass.
Minnesota's got 3 here in set 2. Lexi Sun. Bump set from CC McGraw. Off the block, kept up. Free ball. Hames to Jazz Sweet into the block. Minnesota has seized momentum.
Really nice way to keep the ball alive. Just poke a fist out, get a platform underneath it, keep the ball alive. And then good stop on the block with Morgan Taylor and Alexis Hart.
It's a 10-3 Minnesota run to vault ahead by 8, trying to even it up in set 2. Another top 10 opponent, this a top 5 showdown for Hugh McCutcheon and his Minnesota Golden Gophers playing well here in set 2. And this is what they've done against some top 10 foes. The wins that they've had in Big Ten action, 4 of them already.
What an impressive wins, because it's not just a W, it's 3-0, 3-0, 3-1, 3-0. They've dominated those matches, and it may not have felt like it, but when the opponent can't even get a set in against Minnesota, it's showing how well Minnesota's running the program.
They do have 1 top 10 loss this season. That was in the non-conference, one of just 2 losses in total this year against Stanford. Nice job by Jazz Sweet. Came right off the block along the net.
Nebraska needed a point. However you can get it right now, it's a nice way to get it. Just good reaction play by Jazz Sweet, poking it over, finding the place on the floor.
Do with it what you can to stop a 3-0 run of Minnesota. Haley Densberger. That is quick to the middle, and Morgan just off the mark. She thought she had it. Nebraska looking for a run to pull even closer in set 2. Samity. Hames to Stivrins on the slide for the kill. Lauren Stivrins now with a team high 5 kills. She's done it on 9 swings.
Well, it's so nice to see the middle to get involved again in the second set for Nebraska. They were really successful with the middle in the first set. They're gonna have to keep utilizing that middle to allow their pins to have some more space to swing into.
Really tough serve by Densberger. Rollins raced to it. Free ball from Morgan. Hames goes right back to Stivrins. Why not? Lauren Stivrins is cooking. Timeout Minnesota. How quickly did that 8-point margin for Minnesota turn into just a 4-point deficit for Nebraska?
But it's what Nebraska has started to do on their side. They came out of that last timeout, made some good contacts, has a good serve, made some good contact, but also getting that middle involved. So it allows their outsides not to have to carry the team offensively, and it makes the defense on Minnesota's side have to work that much harder.
In set 1, 4 of the first 6 kills for Nebraska were from middles, and until that timeout, Nebraska had had just 1 kill out of its middle here in set 2.
Well, it's pretty impressive right here. Good first contact, put that ball back on the slide, and Stivrin uses the top of the hands, flips back on the defense, good kill, and then go right back to her. I don't think the block for Minnesota was ready for a middle attack by Nebraska, because that hasn't been one of their strengths this season. But it's good to see Nebraska start opening up their offense, and Minnesota's going to have to respond.
We had a defensive battle last night between a couple teams that hit below 150. Both teams hitting below 200 tonight. Lauren Stivrins has been efficient for Nebraska, but outside her, what have you just seen from both these teams' defenses going up against one another?
We have two really good blocking teams, and you know, you have some big hitters up there. So you're gonna, as a hitter, you're gonna see some hands in front of your face. You also know that behind those blockers is going to be a relentless pursuit defense going on, and that your first swing may not find the floor. You're gonna have to be patient. You're gonna have to play some good defense on your own side, expect some long rallies, and when the set is there and the position is there, take a good crack at the ball, but don't give it away on a ridiculous error.
It's been a fun start to this one in Minneapolis with former Illinois All-American Laura Bush, Mike Monaco, our entire BTN crew on hand. Bump set from Kenzie Maloney, Lexi Sun. Minnesota out of system, free ball from Rollins. Hames back to Stivrins again. Lauren Stivrins.
Hames should just keep feeding her the ball. She has the hot hand right now. The defense hasn't responded, and how they're going to stop that slide attack by Stivrins.
5-0 run, the last 3 straight points off the arm of Lauren Stivrins. Set the middle. Minnesota does the same with Morgan. Sun's tip denied by Samity. Hames to the dunk for the point. Nebraska on a roll. It's a 6-0 run.
Really nice fight up there by the net, and recovery off this block right here from Maloney on Nebraska, but then Hames takes it over on that second contact. Good move.
Stivrins has been in the center of it. 7 kills. She only had 6 all of last night in the 5-set loss to Wisconsin. Hart. That's a big answer for Minnesota, which had seen an 8-point lead dwindle to 2.
But what a perfect pass for Minnesota to get this offense started. The block wasn't quite sure on Nebraska's side what Minnesota was going to do offensively. Good play.
Team high 20 swings for Alexis Hart. Just 1 error and 3 kills. Dug by McGraw. Rollins, where she can just hang in the air. Fecky out of the back row. On the overpass, Maloney digs it. Samity. Big dig by Fecky. Sun. Point Minnesota.
It's a tough way to end that rally, especially off that great dig by Fecky. I mean, I thought that ball was going to be down by Minnesota, and Fecky was able to get her platform underneath it.
Now Lauren Barnes serves. Stivrins. Dug by Barnes. Densberger. Hames sets Fecky out of the back row again. Can anyone get there for Minnesota? They can't. And Nebraska's within 3.
Such a good choice by Hames, and not just because it worked, it's because now Hames is moving the ball around from pin to pin, and it opens up that big play for Fecky. Block's not well formed on that. Good use of the offense.
Tough pass from Minnesota, and then Morgan well long.
When we talk about ridiculous errors on attacking, that's one she would like to rewind and not do. You just don't want to go there. You don't want to go there as a hitter.
Those are the hitting errors for both teams throughout the match. Nebraska within 2. Lexi Sun serves again. Just nicked off the tee. Morgan from the middle. Second kill. She had 4 errors before that. We'll see if she can get going for the Golden Gophers.
Well, that's the way to erase the error before. You get her right back into the offense, put her in her comfortable position. Good set by Seliger Swinson. Morgan terminates.
Stivrins Boy, she really gets up the ladder, and then Nicklin Hames taps it down.
Well, Nicklin Hames just looked at the up official too, as if, I shoved that ball down and I also wasn't in the net.
Stivrins fired up on the Nebraska sideline. Boy, this would be huge if the Cornhuskers could come all the way back from the 8-point deficit after winning set 1. Down ball on the way. Fecky. Nice job by CC McGraw. Samity. Minnesota restores the lead to 3.
Point you!
Now Stephanie Samity serves. Schwarzenbach on the slide. It wasn't the power of Stivrins, not the same connection, but it works just the same for Nebraska.
I do believe there is an art in underwhelming in volleyball. It's, you don't get your full hand on it. You're not even meaning to hit it off speed, but it's in front of the defense and tough for the defense to move forward to get their platform underneath it.
Schwarzenbach had 2 very early kills in set 1, now up to 4 total. Fecky. Nebraska is within 1 here in set 2.
This is a nice rotation for Nebraska. As far as matchups on blockers versus the Nebraska hitters, good swing by Fecky through that double block.
After the 8-point deficit, it's been an 11-4 Nebraska run to get right back into it in set 2 here in Minneapolis. We wanted to see Nebraska go more to the middle. They've done just that.
And John Cook and his staff must have told Hames that the middles have to get involved for the offense to be successful against Minnesota. And Stivrins has responded. Hames is using her well, pushing her out on that wide slide. And then Hames adjusts right here. Ball's tight, she goes up strong. She's not very big, but she plays a big roll up at the net.
11-4 scoring runs. Stivrins and Schwarzenbach combined tonight. 11 kills, 2 errors on 19 swings. That is ultra efficient.
Nebraska can keep that offense going, and along with their pins being successful, it's going to be a nice rebound from last night against Wisconsin.
Bump set from Kenzie Maloney to her classmate Fecky. Samity. Hames in rhythm with Fecky. The tip is there, and it's level at 20.
Nice vision by Fecky here. Just pops it over the top of the block. Tough play for the left front of Minnesota.
Our first tie of set 2. Tough serve prompts a free ball. Hames sets Fecky again, winds up for the kill. Michaela Fecky's got a match high 8 kills. Nicklin Hames. On the overpass. Seliger Swenson to the dump, and it was down. Hames tried to grab it with a pancake. The Nebraska bench thought she might have done so.
Good play here by Seliger Swenson. It wasn't clean as she would like to have it across the net, but I believe that ball did hit the floor, and Hames didn't get her hand underneath.
With you as well in Minnesota, 21 all. So we will get the green card from John Cook, who will challenge late in set 2. We both thought down.
It looked like it was down. Hangs on the net just a little bit. Good pursuit by Hames. But the ball did touch the floor. I think clearly right there, definitively, that it was the call, that it was the correct call the first time around. In my very humble opinion from what I could see from the video.
screen card we've seen from either team. Again, the challenge review system in college volleyball. You get 3 a match. If we go 5 sets, you get an additional challenge you can use. Anything you see there change your mind?
Nothing changes my mind, but what I was thinking in my head is that she was so convinced coming up that she definitely pancaked it. And, you know, without the challenge review system, sometimes I think that can impact, you know, officials. Like, you know, as a player, it's just kind of the gamemanship of it to convince an official. With the challenge review, it really makes you have to be honest. I mean, it really clears up the honesty of it. Not that anyone's trying to be dishonest, but it's just, I'm going to try to convince somebody of something because I want it to go my way.
John Cook used the challenge after Nicklin Hames dove for it. The call does stand. Point sticks with Minnesota. And we are even at 21. Here's Adana Rollins. Hames sets Fecky over the top. Fecky has started to heat up late in set 2.
Well, I don't think we saw her do this last night. You know, she passed out of the middle back right here. She's still in the front row and comes in and hits that 2-ball out of the middle. It kind of, I think, was surprised the Minnesota block as well as the defense.
Shades of Monmouth inside Maturi Pavilion as well. The bench mob for Nebraska making its presence felt. Seliger Swenson back set to Reagan Pittman. Her 3rd kill.
This was definitely a statement swing. Really nice line shot. Not a lot you can do about that one as a defender.
And look, we've talked a lot about the middles for Nebraska, but until that swing, it was only 4 kills from Pittman and Morgan combined. Sarah Nielsen back in to serve. Jazz Sweet in. Jazz Sweet with a crucial kill for Nebraska.
Back in the match, number 26 in Stibbins, number 3 Miller. For the Golden Gophers.
5 of them now for Sweet, hitting 154 to this point. Megan Miller serves. Seliger Swenson to Hart, off some hands. We are level at 23.
And the Nebraska block was there. They had that read pretty well, but Alexis Hart did a nice job of going high off the hands. And then that's tough to recover when it falls out of bounds after the touch.
Now Minnesota's best server in Samantha Seliger Swenson. Hames sets the middle for Stivrins. Bump set Maloney. Lexi Sun. Off the block and down. Taylor Morgan fired up, and it's set point for Minnesota.
This isn't the first time we've seen Taylor Morgan go up and over and just press over that net so far that it takes out any angle that a left side hitter could have with a hard swing.
Minnesota has withstood Nebraska's run to this point in set 2. Can they finish him off and even it up? Sweet. Free ball from Hart. Fecky digs. Sun. Morgan sets. Hames to the outside for Sweet. Cross court, out. And the set to Minnesota.
Dig by Rollins, and again, she's such a stud this freshman year. Ball stays alive, and then just a really tough swing by Jazz Sweet. Just a little out of rhythm with that set, maybe a little bit of miscommunication between Hames and Sweet. Tough way to end the second set for Nebraska.
Nebraska took set 1, 25-19. Minnesota responds in set 2, 25-23 against Nebraska. Top 5 showdown in Minneapolis tonight, and we are even at a set apiece. We've got Nebraska head coach John Cook with us now. And Coach, your thoughts on these first 2 sets?
We had our chance to be up 2-0 and made 2 poor decisions attacking, but I like how we're competing, like how we're playing. We're doing a great job on the game plan, and it's got to come down to some big swings.
Is part of the game plan tonight is to use more of the middles in your offense?
Yeah, we're just trying to be balanced and try to have a balanced attack from everywhere along the net.
Thanks, John. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right.
Nebraska and Minnesota locked at 1 set apiece here inside Maturi Pavilion. Nebraska, the defending champs. Minnesota undefeated so far in Big Ten action, even after the first 2 sets. Moments ago, we caught up with Minnesota head coach Hugh McCutcheon. All right, Coach, in set 2, you guys really battled. You held off that Nebraska run. What'd you think of set 2?
Yeah, it's a tough night. They're serving really well. They got a good defensive plan, and so we're having to grind. And I was really proud of our athletes for the way they responded to that. Nice to close out the second set, and hopefully there's some more in the tank.
Do you have any adjustments coming into the second set? I'm sorry, in the third set that you didn't do in the first or second set?
Well, hopefully we can pass a little better. If we can do that, that'll ease up a lot of our issues. But yeah, I mean, I think defensively we're trying to get in some different spots. But as we know, it's a good match. It's a good battle. We'd expect nothing less.
Thanks for the time, as always, Hugh.
Yep, cheers.
All right, it's been fun so far. Here are the numbers from the first 2 sets here in Minneapolis. Both teams hitting below 200, nearly identical hitting percentages, Laura.
Well, they're 2 really good teams that know how to win, know how to compete at a high level, and they're each trying to prove something. Different things right now, but they're each trying to prove something. So we got a nice battle in our hands.
Laura Bush, Mike Monaco, our entire BTN crew on hand for this one. We wanted to see how Nebraska would respond from last night. Michaela Fecky leads the way for the Cornhuskers. She's got a match high with those 9 kills, 6 of them in set 2.
Well, it's so nice to see Fecky being helped out by the rest of her teammates, and not that it was a decision not to help her out last night. It was just a tough road last night. But she's also getting some open spaces against the Minnesota block because there's a middle that's going up in the air, holding a block, and a middle being successful that Minnesota has to honor. Otherwise, the Nebraska middle's going to have their way with them.
We've seen a bit more of a back row attack as well from Nebraska tonight compared to last night. Start of set 3. Fecky's down ball, handled by McGraw. Samity. Hames has to bump set, got tangled up with Sweet. Out to Rollins for the kill. Nice delivery from Seliger Swenson.
And even what looks out of system, Seliger Swenson is still able to deliver a pretty fast set to the pin.
Those 9 kills for Adana Rollins, the true freshman, have come on 20 swings without an error. Hames to the middle for Schwarzenbach, just wide.
Point you.
If you're Nebraska, though, keep going to the middle.
I think so. I think at least try it. I don't know about right now, but don't completely freeze the middle out.
Nice back set from Seliger Swenson to Samity. How about that fun?
Well, Minnesota's so good when things just aren't perfect because they have so many players who could upgrade the play, and we were talking about that before. Just a good first contact can lead to a great second contact when Samantha Seliger Swenson takes it.
She's the NCAA's active leader in career assists. She reached 5,000 earlier in the season against Northwestern and is 5th right now in Minnesota program history. Bump set from CC McGraw. Rollins. Good dig by Hames, and one from Barnes. Rollins. Schwarzenbach making life difficult in the middle. Fecky. Rollins rolls it. Hames to the dump. Puts an end to the long rally.
For a while there, it just looked like Minnesota could just put up any arm, any hand, two hands, whatever they needed to keep the ball alive. Good decision by Hames to change up the tempo a little bit in the offense and take it over on the second contact.
4 kills from the 2 setters tonight. Hames has 3 of them. Pittman quickly out of the middle. Sweet. Hames sets Sun. Now Rollins. How about the show tonight from Adana Rollins?
She is just spectacular. I mean, she can hit it cross-court high off the hands. And you see this ball, she gets her feet just a little bit past it. She's going to take it down the line. Good vision.
Hitting .417, the first player on the floor into double figures in kills. Off the tape. Maloney's bump set for Sun. Wide.
Nebraska needs to find a way to earn a point versus maybe hoping to get a point because Minnesota makes an error. You start earning a point as a team, you start getting your confidence back and the rhythm goes a little bit faster, but a little bit better. But these errors start to play with your mind a little bit.
Tip try from Jazz Sweet ended up on the floor on the Nebraska side, and Minnesota up by 5 in set 3. Timeout, John Cook. Minnesota battled in set 2. They've got the early lead in set 3 against the defending champs. Von Szymanski's Iowa team was in here last night. They have turned some heads in the Big Ten so far with some impressive play.
And Hugh McCutcheon mentioned that they can play good defense, and Taylor Lewis is the real deal for Iowa.
Off the block and out, and another point for Minnesota. Packed house tonight, 5,467, the official number of this sellout crowd for a gold out in Maturi Pavilion. Jazz Sweet for the Huskers. You know, before that swing, Lexi Sun and Jazz Sweet had 9 kills, 12 errors on 44 swings.
That's a frustrating rotation to be in for a team. You know, they're trying to find a way to get the ball past the Minnesota defense, and when you air yourself into a hole, you're going to have to grind that much more to get out of it.
There's Miller, a Munciana product. Pittman. Hames set Sweet again. Changed it up for the kill. Maybe a little bit out of sync there with Hames. Got the point anyway.
Well, it looks like she's expecting a faster set, and that ball's just a little bit higher, not in the right spot. She's there early. Feet are a little bit discombobulated, but good way to manage that. It can't always be perfect. You got to manage what's coming at you.
7 kills now for Jazz Sweet. Rollins! Adana Rollins, 12 kills now.
We see her so many times with a double block in front of her that usually is flipping up on a block. We never see her really get a hold of a ball when the court's just wide open, and she took advantage of it.
It's 8-3. She has 4 of her 12 kills here in set 3. Stivrins. Lauren Stivrins has been one of the leaders. 8 kills. She's hitting above 400. Former top 10 recruit in the country. Last year, of course, was on the All Big Ten freshman team. There's Haley Densberger. Seliger Swenson to Alexis Hart for the tip.
Nebraska defense was a little bit dug in behind Hames, and then Alexis Hart just throws in a changeup. Defense wasn't ready to respond.
And the numbers have been climbing for Alexis Hart. Hitting percentage coming into tonight, 261. Last time we saw her nearly a month ago for the Big Ten opener, she was at 189. And it's a service error from Minnesota and Reagan Pittman.
Back to serve is Sun.
There's Hart, the junior out of Kansas City. So many big weapons for Minnesota. John Cook's bunch down by 4 in set 3. Hart. Densberger digs it. Fecky. Seliger Swenson to Morgan. Fecky cross court for the kill.
Some really good defense on each side of the net. It just looked like the defense was in the right spot, except for the last swing by Fecky. Good play on each side of the net.
10 kills tonight. Last weekend against Penn State, she moved into 8th all-time at Nebraska in kills. But after that, it's a costly service error for Nebraska.
Seliger Swenson back to serve.
Sam Seliger Swenson serves. Ames is bump set for Fecky. Seliger Swenson got a piece of it. Hames to Stivrins on the slide, denied by Hart. Fecky a second time. Hart swings long.
It's uncharacteristic, out of bounds, inline swing by Hart.
There's Kenzie Maloney, the senior from Louisville. Seliger Swenson, that was tough to handle off the pass. Another tough pass from Lexi Hart. Hames to the dunk. Hames for Fecky. Seliger Swenson called off Rollins. Now Hart off the tape. Hames back to Fecky. Blocked. Stephanie Samity.
Well, that was a really good server back there to have with Kenzie Maloney. It's unfortunate that it ended that way, but again in this rotation with Fecky on the left side, I think we need to see a little bit more of Schwarzenbach getting into the offense to help Fecky out.
Hames. Nice dig in the back. Lauren Barnes. Rollins. Hames does go back to Fecky. McGraw can't get there. Michaela Fecky being fed on that left pin. How about the dig, though, despite the result from Lauren Barnes?
She just stood right in there and muscled up. Just got that arm. Got that arm out. Really good layup by her and good pursuit.
Second meeting in a 2-week span between these two powerhouses. A couple of the typical titans in the Big Ten. Hames does set the middle for Schwarzenbach, and she is in. You said it. Let's see if they go to the middles, and they do go to the freshman.
Servers are really, of Nebraska, really putting pressure on Adana Rollins. Making her have to play and then have to swing out of it.
Hugh McCutcheon told us Nebraska's serving us really tough so far after those first 2 sets. Maloney, nice pancake from the libero. Samity. Eight kills now for Stephanie Samity, hitting below 200. She's right around 300 for the season. CC McGraw, the freshman libero. Hames back to Schwarzenbach. Rollins is long. They do give the point to Minnesota. A late call on a touch by Nebraska. Sweet. That's a big swing, ripping it right out of Donna Rollins.
It's a tough ball to see. A lefty hitting on the left side. It's coming across her body. You're not ever sure if she's going to hit it off the hands down the line or if she's capable of getting it sharp cross court. She is.
And the point to Nebraska on the serve. So the Cornhuskers within one in set 3 right around the midway point.
Well, Minnesota doesn't have a lot of serve-receive options here. I mean, they're helping her out. Lauren Barnes has moved over to help Donna Rollins out and taking up some space. But Nebraska's doing a great job of making sure that freshman takes the first ball.
Service error. That one more toward Lauren Barnes.
Point you. Stephanie Samity back to serve.
So Fecky had her second ace, follows it up with the service error. And here's Stephanie Samity. Ames sets the middle for Schwarzenbach. A lot of pace on that swing.
It's such a good pass for Nebraska to run the offense. And I think with Schwarzenbach, when she's a young middle, it sets her up. She doesn't have to maneuver around a setter and track the pass a lot. Gets herself up in the air. Good swing. Good choice by Hames.
Number 10 recruit in the country. They wanted her to just get up more in the middle, whether the ball's going to her or not. Rollins. Sun sends it over. Right back to the freshman. Samity from the back row. Hames pushes it out to Sun. Line shot for the kill. Right at Samity.
Really nice dig by Fecky, but out of system, Hames sets a nice high set. Sun is able to get it in between, past Samantha Selliger-Swince's hand and in between the antenna. Good line shot.
And some fire from Lexi Sun. Pittman winds up on the slide. Sun. Selliger-Swince into Pittman. Sun got a couple pieces of it. And the point to Minnesota, back up by 1. We go back and forth in set 3. It's Donna Rollins serving. Hames to Stivrins. Now Jazz Sweet is blocked. And the point to Nebraska, out off the block.
I like how Hames moved that ball around. Went to Stivrins, wasn't quite there. Good recovery by Nebraska, then fling it back to Sweet.
Who has 4 kills in set 3. Selliger-Swince into Pittman, had to adjust and gets the kill anyway.
She's doing such a good job, Reagan Pittman, as a managing the ball. We've seen her tip, we've seen her hit hard straight down the line, and there she rattles it through the block.
Sarah Nielsen in to serve again. Double sub from Hugh McCutcheon with Martin in the front row. Nielsen sets hard. Dug by Maloney. Down ball from Fecky. Morgan. Nice job by Hames and Maloney. Nielsen sets the middle to Morgan. That was tight. Now Hames. Fecky from the back row. Nielsen sets hard. Sun blasted. Back even.
Really big rallies here. The ball just wouldn't land on the Nebraska side. They were able to get their feet underneath to the ball and then their hands underneath the ball. Nice way to finish that rally, high off the hands, out of bounds on Minnesota.
It's what Hugh McCutcheon said to us today about Nebraska. They're so disciplined defensively, and they're just really good volleyball players. You know it's going to be tough to get the ball down on their side. Sun with an ill-timed service error.
That's incredibly frustrating as a player. You just had a nice kill after a big rally, and then go back and end it with a service error.
Kind of goes back to what you said earlier in set 2. Last night, there never seemed to be that big run from Nebraska. Saw a glimpse of it in set 2. And then set 3 has been really even. Lauren Stivrins makes it 17-all.
She has such good footwork to get herself all the way out to that sideline and be able to use the line to find a way to get a kill on the slide.
9 kills, of course. She had the match earlier this year against Northwestern. 10 kills, 10 attempts. Third player to do that at Nebraska. Perfect hitting percentage on at least 10 swings. Samity loads up. And the point to Minnesota.
Point you. Lauren Barnes just back to the back. Barnes back to serve.
Here's Lauren Barnes. Schwarzenbach on the slide. A little bit off speed there, whether intentional or not.
But thank goodness Haynes set Schwarzenbach when Fecky's the other hitter in the front row. That's only going to help their offense out, especially against Minnesota's defense. It's good to see Schwarzenbach become active on that slide.
Rollins still without an error. She's got 14 kills now on 31 swings.
Point you. Pittman checks in. CC back to serve.
Hugh McCutcheon says she plays older than she is. That has certainly been evident so far this season. Ames did a nice job to get that back to Fecky. Now McGraw's bump set for Samity. Got the live off the block. Barnes is down ball. Haynes, Fecky. Bump set from Barnes for Rollins. Redwell on the tip try. Rollins, a tight set. At the net and down. Point Gophers. Up by 2.
I am so impressed by Rollins' poise that it doesn't matter what kind of ball she gets. I never feel like she's going to be making an error. She's going to make the ball better. It may not be a kill, but it's probably not going to be an error.
455, the hitting percentage. Jess Sweet winds up. Pittman sets Rollins. McGraw's bump set for Samity. Big dig. Sun and Hames both dove for it. Seliger Swenson to Rollins. Maloney kept it up. Now Sweet. Seliger Swenson back to Rollins. How about Kenzie Maloney? Point Minnesota. Timeout Nebraska. Minnesota up by 3, and we've certainly sung the praises of Adana Rollins tonight, but here's the breakdown. 15 kills, no errors, 36 swings. What are you seeing from her, Laura Bush?
Well, what I've said earlier is that she just manages the out-of-system play so well. I mean, she's a 6-rotation outside hitter. The ball's going to get to her eventually because that's just how it works in volleyball. But she's just trustworthy out there. She just is able to tip it over, hit high off the hands. When the spot is open, she can hit hard, but she's also managing the serve-receive game. Nebraska's going at her, and she's staying right in there and being able to take that first contact and not getting rattled and allowing it to mess up her attacking game.
She did have the 17 kills, a career high, the first meeting exactly 2 weeks ago out at the Devaney Sports Center, but the 8 errors and the 17 kills, they were on 60 swings. She's been so efficient tonight. 417, we said.
She has the hot hand right now, and whether, you know, if it's not Samantha Seliger-Swinson taking that second contact, if it's someone else, you know, CC McGraw throwing the ball up there as their platform, I think everyone's trusting what Adana Rollins is doing, that they know as long as they get the ball high, they get it off the net, they give her a place in which she can attack, she's going to do some good things with it.
Later on tonight, coming up on BTN, Dave Revson, Stanley Jackson, Chuck Long, they will recap the entire day of Big Ten football. Very eventful day, especially in East Lansing, beforehand even. The final drive presented by Auto Owners Insurance tonight at 11 Eastern, right here on BTN. Scott Frost got that first win today, proved elusive, but they get it behind a great performance from Adrian Martinez, the freshman quarterback, earlier today on BTN. Nebraska's volleyball squad here on the road in Minneapolis. Gophers up by 3 in set 3. Barnes digs it. Seliger-Swinson saves it. Barnes digs it again. Minnesota's been really good defensively. Fecky for the kill, and Nebraska needed that one.
That took a lot of work for Nebraska to get that kill, and they want to keep this momentum behind the service line.
Team high 12 kills for Michaela Fecky. Once again, she is taking on a heavy workload, approaching 45 swings. Bump set from Sweet to Lexi Sun for the kill. Nice work out of system by the Huskers.
Nice shot by Lexi Sun, finding it back there near the middle back of Minnesota, which is Lauren Barnes. And Lauren Barnes has such nice range. It's a rare ball that falls near her.
Hugh McCutcheon takes a timeout with Nebraska inching back within 1. We've got a good one in Minneapolis.
Well, and he talked about this when we were at Wisconsin on how Nebraska finished their match against Penn State. What we saw last night at Wisconsin holds true as well, is where he stated that they made errors at the wrong time of the match. And you're getting into the red zone right here. It's 20 points and above, and how does a team manage themselves in being able to close out a set or even come back by a point and then move ahead to 25?
In this red zone here, in a tightly contested third set. Seliger-Swinson out to Samity. Blocked.
Nice push by Samantha Seliger-Swinson, but the Nebraska block was over there. They were just waiting for Samity to come at them.
Both teams have hit below 200. Both teams in set 3 right around 200. Samity cross court. Maloney, an accurate bump set to Lexi Sun, and an attack error. Minnesota by 1.
Point you. 70 back to serve.
21 hitting errors for Nebraska. Samity. Schwarzenbach went left-handed. Ames digs it. Free ball from Fecky. Rollins for the kill. Sharp shot.
This is a tough rotation for Nebraska. They've been stuck in this rotation earlier in this set. They haven't been able to find a hitter to go to that's going to consistently get them a kill or hit them out of it.
23-21 Minnesota, in large part to the strength of Adana Rollins in set 3. Maloney's pass to Hames, sets up Sweet for the kill down the line.
I think there's a little bit of sigh of relief getting out of that rotation, going back to the service line, then Stivern comes into the middle, and she's been really good in the middle. We'll see if Hames wants to find her.
Megan Miller again. Pittman's tip off the slide. Set point coming up for Minnesota.
That's a tough ball to defend. Pittman is long. She has that arm up there. She can hit the ball really hard. When she decides to tip it with force, it's hard to recover from.
Adana Rollins. Tough serve. Hames dives for it. Lexi Sung. Seliger Swenson to Lexi Hart. Crowd on its feet. Lexi Sweet, or rather Jazz Sweet. Now bumped by Maloney. Samity. How about Fecky's dig? Kill. Nebraska stays alive. A monster point for the Huskers.
What an amazing swing by Samity coming out of the back row, and Nebraska just being able to handle it right there. Incredible dig by Fecky.
It's a BTN standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance, and the second time tonight when a ball's coming at Fecky, we thought it might be down, so close to it, and Fecky digs it.
But what's so really nice to see out of that one, she digs a really hard hit ball, Fecky does, and then her team is able to convert that dig into a kill, and especially off a Jazz Sweet. What a nice confidence builder for their offense.
(24-23), the Minnesota lead. We check out some of these outside hitters. Fecky for Nebraska, the freshman we've documented tonight. Adana Rollins for the Gophers.
It's a nice battle that they have going out there. But what Adana Rollins also has going for is that she has some other hitters that are helping her out to allow her to be successful. And Nebraska, I think, is still trying to find in each rotation what hitters can hit them out of serve receive.
Michaela Fecky with the 12 kills. We talked about the dig. We were watching her at practice today, and she goes through every motion, whether it's required or not, and she's training every part of her game. You were keyed in on this.
Because she's doing, I don't know if I can describe it accurately for the people who are listening, but you know, it was a simple scouting drill where they're just, it's not going through the motions, but you're moving into the blocking scheme that you need to move into, but you're not really blocking a ball. But she made sure to transition hard each time after the block. And I was just impressed as a senior, and not saying that a senior's like, hey, you know, I've been through this before, I know how to do it. It's the same footwork we saw her do last night, and she's creating a great habit. What a great role model for the rest of her teammates, too.
Fecky in Nebraska down by 1. It's set point number 2 for Minnesota. Here in set 3, trying to go up 2 sets to 1. They went right after Rollins again. Lexi Hart for the kill, and Minnesota leads. Minnesota so far is perfect in the Big Ten. Their best ever start in conference play, trying to get to 10-0. The Gophers loving it at home. Well, with crowds like this, you can understand why Minnesota has only lost 1 set at home all season here tonight, and they've only lost 2 sets in Big Ten play 2 weeks ago, and obviously again here tonight against these Cornhuskers.
Well, it looks like Minnesota, not that they needed to settle down by any means from the first set that they lost here, but they're really finding a rhythm in every aspect of their game. They just are playing clean, but they're managing the ball out of system really well. And we've seen some kind of crazy errors from Minnesota, or what we would consider crazy errors from seeing them all season. But when things aren't perfect, they still are able to better the ball even as it goes across the net to the opponent.
2 sets to 1, the lead for Minnesota. Good start for Nebraska. Hames goes right to Lauren Stivrins.
I think it's a great way to open up this set. Reestablish that middle, make the Minnesota block have to honor that middle. Help the Pins get a little bit more open so they don't have a double block on them the rest of the night.
Stivrins is the third Husker into double figures in kills, joining Fecky and Sweet. Seliger Swenson, excellent set, back to Samity. Hames for Fecky out of the back row, got the touch and the point.
We haven't seen Fecky hit out of the back row very often tonight, but when she does, it's powerful and has been able to score for Nebraska.
Team high 13 kills. Seliger Swenson to Taylor Morgan. Morgan's been quiet. That's just her third kill. 5 hitting errors tonight, but boy, she is healthy this season and she is really good in the middle. It's a player who has had 4 knee surgeries going back to her junior year of high school. Stivrins on the slide with the tip. Second kill for Stivrins to begin set 4.
Really nice placement of that tip over the block, but also between 2 defenders. CeCe McGraw down the left back, and also Stephanie Samity coming over for the right front to cover that location.
Lexi Sun serves. Seliger Swenson to Samity. Sharp shot.
Man, she can just light it up right here. Such a sharp cross-court swing by her.
Nearly 3.7 kills per set for the sophomore from Claremont, Florida. Former number 5 recruit in the country. Stivrins, another swing. Pittman is so good off of 1 foot. That's what Samantha Seliger Swenson told us. She connects with her middle.
Such a good rhythm between those two that they've worked on this year, and it's really working for them tonight. And we've seen Pittman be able to move that ball around across the court on Nebraska's side.
Samity serves at Sun. Hames, Nicklin Hames has her 4th kill. Better job from Hames tonight, 46 assists last night in the match at Wisconsin. Again, that went 5 sets. It was limited to just 28 assists. Pittman again on the slide, her 2nd kill in quick succession.
That is a tough ball to manage. I mean, she just overpowers the defense with this swing. What a nice shot.
Very early on in set 4, Minnesota, a perfect 9-0 in the Big Ten, trying to create even more separation from Nebraska. Fecky puts the Huskers back in front.
Good first contact by Nebraska there. It was able to hold Reagan Pittman in the middle, a little bit late, closing over to Fecky.
Nicklin Hames behind the line. Serves it at Rollins. Seen Nebraska do quite a bit of that. And for Nicklin Hames, her first ace serve tonight. Hames entered the action tonight, 2nd on Nebraska in aces this season. Freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee. Seliger Swenson, Hart left-handed. Maloney's bump set. Fecky. Long. No touch, point Gophers.
Point you. Morgan checks back over the goal and Gophers. Pittman back to serve.
22 hitting errors for Nebraska, 10 more than Minnesota's had tonight. Schwarzenbach. Fecky. And a kill. Nebraska up by 2 in set 4.
Well, Well, Hames liked going to Fecky right now when she was in the front row. We saw her swing a lot on the left side, and she found her on the right side. Tough ball to handle for Rollins, a middle back.
Becky's got a couple aces tonight. See if she can go on a serving run. At Rollins again. Hart. Hames got some of it, and Fecky runs out of room. Into the student section.
Back to serve is Seligman Swenson.
Pretty good second contact back there by the Golden Gophers faithful. Hames to the middle for Schwarzenbach. Wrist away shot for the kill.
There are 3 blockers up on Schwarzenbach right there, and she was able to find that really sharp angle. Defense was playing behind the block.
So Nebraska up by 2. Remember what's at stake for the Cornhuskers. Trying to avoid another loss in the Big Ten. They've gone 5 sets each of their last 2 Big Ten matches. Point Gophers. It's a hitting error. Sun thought she might have caught the line.
That was such a crazy play right there. I mean, when she landed, I thought she hurt herself, but maybe she just landed awkwardly and fell out of it.
Yeah, certainly no touch. That was close. I think Sun might have had at least somewhat of a case there for that being in. Service error from Lauren Barnes.
Back to the match number 43, Haley Densberger Densberger back to serve.
Here's Haley Densberger. Initially joined the program as a walk-on. Saw her serving last year. DS this year. Stephanie Samity just comes flying in.
It was a nice, perfect pass for Minnesota to run that quick set to her behind her and just got on the inside of Lexi Sun, and Lexi Sun wasn't able to recover to get in front of the ball.
Pretty graceful.
Very graceful.
Minnesota within 1. Bump set from Hames off the pass from Densberger. Stivrins tips it down. She's up to 12 kills total in the match.
Nice reaction play here by Stivrins. The ball just pops right back over. She's there to shove it down.
Lexi Sun. Off the tape, service error. That's number 6 for Nebraska. 6 aside, serving.
She's having a little bit of trouble behind the service line tonight, and she's feeling it.
Here's Stephanie Samity. Fecky on the tight set. Barnes digs it. Rollins down the line at Densberger. She is still without an error tonight.
With that dig in the backcourt from Lauren Barnes, running that ball down to a good set. And Donald Rollins taking care of it on the 3rd contact.
Matches the career high she set 2 weeks ago against these Huskers. 17 kills in both. Service error way off the mark from Samity.
Back to the match number 25, Carol Schwarzenbach. Back to serve Malone.
Here's Kenzie Maloney. Haven't called her name a whole lot tonight, but she is 1 dig away from matching a career high. She's been very good for Nebraska as well. Pittman. There's Maloney digging it, matching that career high with 25. Rollins off the block and out. Point to Minnesota to pull even. Career high in kills for that woman right there, Donna Rollins. At the midway point of her first Big Ten season, Pittman blocks Fecky.
tough way to make a living right there by Fecky, hitting into that big block and give it to Reagan Pittman, taking out that angle and putting herself in front of the ball.
3 blocks for Reagan Pittman in the middle. Fecky off the hands of Pittman this time.
Such a nice recovery by her. Coming back after getting stuff blocked. Next time she's set, being able to change that up just a little bit, hit high, a little bit more off speed.
Right around the midway point of set 4 here in Minneapolis. Bump set from Seliger Swenson. Hames sets Fecky. Samity got part of it. Fecky's got her 17th kill.
I like how Fecky again took some speed off, hit it a little bit harder than the time before, but again, that makes the Minnesota defense have to adjust, not get just in a routine. Just I'm going to sit here and let the ball come to me.
Seliger Swenson, a lot of options. She chooses Lexi Hart.
Really nice pass there, just a perfect pass, completely in system, and Lexi Hart got every inch of that ball with her hand.
8th kill for Lexis Hart. Tied for 3rd on the team tonight. Jazz Sweet. Samity bumps it to Hart, slams it down. Look out. Some pizzazz from Minnesota, the reactions to it.
That ball was a little tight and it just got past the Nebraska block. Nebraska block wasn't set up very well. Lexi Hart felt like she had an open net, just sent it straight down.
Morgan and Samity were equally fired up for that one, watching Hart climb the ladder. Minnesota by 1 in a tightly contested set 4. Gophers lead 2 sets to 1. Service error. Sarah Nielsen had just come in on the double sub again for Hugh McCutcheon. Martin had come in, she exits. Now Michaela Fecky looks to the bench, picks out where she will attack with her serve. Goes at Rollins. Middle for Morgan. Sweet. Blocked. We go back and forth in set 4, Minnesota by 1. In set 4 for Hugh McCutcheon's team, no hitting errors, 10 kills, 17 swings.
Well, that adds a whole nother pressure to Nebraska when you're not getting any points by errors from your opponent. And, you know, every team likes a few points based on errors of the opponent. You have to play that much more perfectly and then follow that up with the service ace. Makes it even tougher.
It's the second one from Seliger Swenson tonight, Laura.
That was just misreading where that ball was going to suddenly dive, and she's a great server, Seliger Swenson. Tough ball to read.
Second on the team in aces last year, leads the Gophers this year in that category. Sweet gets a kill, Nebraska within 1. Jazz Sweet, 12 kills now.
26, Lauren Stibbins. Miller back to serve.
True freshman Megan Miller. At Rollins again. Hart. Bump set Sun all the way over to Sweet. Big swing cross court. Seliger Swenson digs it. On the overpass, tipped down by Morgan.
An area that Hugh McCutcheon has said that Seliger Swenson has improved in is that dig. Really good dig by her. Then you see the middle take it overhand. Just a little too much on that dig from Nebraska. Allowed Taylor Morgan to take care of it.
Morgan trying to help this Minnesota team pass Nebraska for a second time this season. An ace serve. You know, we talked to Taylor Morgan today after practice. She said, Hugh McCutcheon always says to us, we have a target on our backs. Well, Taylor Morgan said, Nebraska's been that team for them in the Big Ten. They went into Lincoln, got the win. She said to us, we're going to do the same thing tonight. And she also said it's not personal, it's just business. Point for Nebraska to answer back.
What I loved about that comment about her is that they took something from us and we're going to take it back, but it's not personal.
She is one of the really fun personalities, not just on this team for Minnesota, but within this conference.
Well, even how she's talking, how she's matured through those injuries and being patient as she's had to earn playing time. Really neat talk with her today.
7th service error from Nebraska. Yeah, Morgan has certainly bided her time on this Minnesota roster. We told you 4 knee surgeries, and then 3 is the other number. That's the number of All-Americans she sat behind the last few years in the middle.
It's such a good lesson for any player to learn that, you know, she was stellar in high school and she came in here, had to sit behind some All-American middles, not just because of an injury, but also because she hadn't earned her playing time. And she became a student of the game and learned how to be patient and take advantage of the time on the bench so that when she has an opportunity to be in the lineup, she takes advantage of it.
Stephanie Samity, the kill. John Cook, timeout. Golden Gophers by 4. And they're trying to hand Nebraska their 4th Big Ten loss of the season. Nebraska's trying to avoid losing 3 matches in a row in any one season for the first time since 1997. Big 12 era, and now John Cook at the helm. That's the danger they're in right now.
And I don't even know if that's on their mind. I think it's more or less, how are we going to find our identity? I mean, it's a big thing for fans. Coaches probably know it, but as players, it's just, how are we going to get better? How are we going to minimize our errors, play to our strengths, get back to a rhythm of what they consider Nebraska volleyball to start controlling their destiny?
They've lost 3 Big Ten matches the last 2 seasons before this one. And coming into tonight, 6-3 in the Big Ten. Hugh McCutcheon, meanwhile, they'd only lost 1 set in their first 9 Big Ten matches before tonight. It was at Lincoln, like we told you about, 2 weeks ago against the Cornhuskers. Nebraska took the first set tonight. Minnesota answered back in sets 2 and 3. Nebraska tries to set Stivrins on the slide. Another kill for Adana Rollins. 19. A career high. She keeps building on it.
Her hand is golden tonight. Whatever she goes up to attack, it's just been phenomenal.
Hitting .422. Minnesota's on a 7-2 run. It was so even at the outset of set 4. Ace serve! Timeout, Nebraska. Minnesota can smell it with that golden arm of Adana Rollins. The Gophers by 6 in set 4 at home. Up to the moment standings in the Big Ten Conference right now. We'll show you the top half of it. Minnesota sits pretty at 9-0. Penn State, Michigan, Illinois, all victorious today. Wisconsin in action tomorrow.
Well, and every win and a loss has a major impact at the end of the season for the conference standings and people who are really working to win the championship. It also has a major impact on the NCAA seeding decisions.
22-16 Minnesota in set 4. Lexi Sun off speed for the kill. Nebraska within 5, and Laura, I'll ask you this. If the Cornhuskers are to come back in the red zone late in set 4, how does it happen?
Where they're going to have to keep the serve. I mean, that's just play it by the numbers. Get in a serving run, either good blocking or some great transition from defense into a kill. Because Minnesota's not making errors right now. They're going to have to earn their way back into the end of the set.
Samity!
Such a clean hit by her. The set brings her inside on purpose, and she knows that she has a lot of line in which she can work with and takes advantage of it.
Double-double for Samity. How about Minnesota in set 4? 14 kills on 23 swings, no errors, hitting .609 in this set. Stivrins. Seliger Swenson digs it. Long. So it turns out Adana Rollins is human.
Well, she had some traffic she had to work through. As Seliger Swenson scrambled over there and then hustled up off the floor so Adana wouldn't land on her.
Nebraska within 5, Kenzie Maloney. Seliger Swenson right back to Rollins. Here comes match point.
Point you. Hart checks in, Rollins back to serve, set, and match point.
Adana Rollins serves it at Sun. Vecchi. Pittman! Minnesota stays perfect.
And the match 3 sets to 1.
10 Big Ten matches, 10 wins for Minnesota. They've only dropped 2 sets. The number 3 team in the country looked the part tonight.
They are playing the game very cleanly and efficiently, and as usual, they're a very low-air team. I think, you know, for a bit of the match early on, we saw those service errors, some uncharacteristic reception errors by Minnesota, but they worked their way through it. We see them hit nearly perfectly at the end of the match tonight.
Nebraska has lost 3 in a row in one season for the first time since 1997. It's a senior class that had never lost more than 4 losses in a season. They've now dropped 4 of their last 5 matches.
Well, and we heard from some of the Nebraska staff earlier today that the kids are aware of it. You know, you have a Michaela Vecchi who's not used to losing, and I asked, but it's only a couple of matches. But it's a big deal, the Nebraska Cornhusker land.
Minnesota victorious over Nebraska in 4 sets. The Golden Gophers with a finishing blow from Reagan Pittman. We'll chat with Adana Rollins when we come back. Gophers loving it tonight.